This stamp set is a celebration stamp set, and this stamp is from the Occasions catalog. I've not used this stamp set yet, and I really wanted to, but I felt like it was really more like spring, and it reminded me of Easter, and I wasn't quite ready to make those kinds of cards yet. So I finally decided to get it out and do a little bit of creating. So the card I'm going to create today, I'm going to be using this saying right here that says, "Wish you all the beautiful blessings of Easter," but you could change any sentiment out for the card I'm gonna make. So let's get started. I'm using mint macaroon ink, and then I'm also using this piece of paper. It's from the Occasions catalog, and if you head over to my website by just clicking right up here or down in the YouTube description, you'll see a supply list and you can see the name of this paper. I actually don't know it right off the top of my head, so I've already cut this down, and this is my last strip of it, and so I've cut it down, and then that's what we're going to use. I'm also using a card base. This is just a standard A2 size card. I'm using the thick Whisper White cardstock. I cut it in half at 5.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4, and that's what gave me this size card. So let's move these over, and then I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer, and we're gonna get started. So the other item that I have, the other piece I have, is this piece right here. Now this is, let me measure it and give you guys the correct measurements. It's 3 1/4 by 4.5. Sorry, 3 1/4 by 4.5. So that's kind of a go-to layer for me, you guys, when I'm struggling. 3 by 4, 3.5 by 4.5 kind of thing. It makes it easy. So we're going to be using Memento black ink, and then we're going to be using the mint macaroon ink. So what I'm doing, this is like a 2-step process. If you look right here, here's this image, which is the outline of the image, and then you can stamp these images inside to give you that coloring and shading that make it look really cool without all the work. I'm just going to be using this one. I really struggle with these images, you guys. I have a hard time lining them up, making them really look how they're supposed to look, and then I get annoyed. So what I found is if it's a 3-step process, I usually just use the 1 step, and then what we're gonna do is go in with our Wink Stella glitter brush, and we're going to do some other things. So I'm just going to use the mint macaroon ink, and this is not anything precise. We're just going to do a couple down here at the bottom. It can overlap some. I'm really not worried about it. Okay, just like that. And then I have a paper towel right here off to the side. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. I'm going to be stamping off onto my paper towel. So these actually line up. There's a little arrow right at the bottom of the stamp you can see, and then there's one right on the bottom here, and then if you stamp it and you hold it, it's supposed to line up perfectly, right? It's supposed to make it real easy for you. I just struggle with this technique or this type of stamping. I think it's because I'm not careful enough. So I just stamped off a little bit over here, and then I do try to line it up somewhat. I didn't quite check how I was holding the other stamp, but we'll go with, and I'm trying not to get my head in the middle of the camera. Like this looks good probably. And it's not bad, right? So then you can just do that. And we'll just stamp off and then line it up the best you can. I mean, like I said, I'm never perfect with this. And we're going to go in with the Wink Stella, and that's going to make a difference too. So right now for celebrations, you can get this item for free by placing a $50 order. And then the other exciting thing with celebrations right now is you can join Stampin' Up. You get the starter kit. You spend $99 and you get $155 in product. And that's all product that you pick out. It's not anything that's just sent to you, which is really nice. So it's a really good deal. You guys can see all the details on my website, but I just like to mention to you guys that right now is the best time to either place a large order and get those celebration items and get the extra Stampin' rewards, or it's a great time to join. So now I'm just going to take my Wink Stella brush, and I'm going to zoom you guys in so you guys can really see what I'm doing. So that's fine, just like it is. It gives you that colored look. But what you can do is, I like to go in with my Wink Stella, and of course everything looks prettier with glitter, right? But the ink will react with your Wink Stella, and it'll soften it up and spread that ink around a little bit more. And especially if you use watercolor paper, the ink will really react to the Wink Stella and really move around again, and you can shade it in more if you want. You can also take your ink pad and you just take it and you push it, you press it together real tight, and then when you open it, you have ink right on the lid. And what you can do is with your Wink Stella brush, you can just come in and pick up some of that color and then use that to shade some of it in. So if you're not quite happy with exactly the shading that you got, use that Wink Stella and add a little bit more shading. I really like using the Wink Stella brush to do this because I feel like it gives you a lot of control. Where like with the water color brushes that we have, the aqua painters, these tend to not have as much control. So actually what I did, here's a tip for you guys. I actually recently, one of my Wink Stella brushes ran out. You can see I wrote on here old and then water. So all I did was fill it with water. You can just unscrew this part and then fill the base with water again. You're still gonna have a little bit of shimmer in there, probably for a while. It won't be as dark as when the pen's new, but I just feel like these give you a little bit more control. So I've been using them to do my watercoloring and stuff just because I have that little bit more control. So then you can see, I got a little carried away on a couple of them, but you can see the shimmer. Okay, so we're done with that part. And then for your Wink Stella brush, just wipe it on the paper towel and the ink will come off there. So now you can see, let me catch the light. You can see that shimmer is all over those flowers. So just let that dry for a few seconds and then we'll come out again. And now what I'm gonna do is just take this Easter sentiment and we're gonna use Memento Black, stamp it right at the top here. There's really nothing to this card, you guys. It's really, really simple. But this saying reminds me of like brush lettering, which is really becoming very popular right now. And so it kind of reminds me of that brush lettering. And so I think it's really pretty to just overlay like that. And then the only other thing that we're going to do is there's lots of different options for this, but I have some like white enamel dots that are real simple. You could add pearls, you could add rhinestones. You guys know I like to add a lot of rhinestones to my projects. Just add these to the top of the flower. Just make sure that it's dry from that Wink Stella. The Wink Stella really does dry pretty quick. So now this part we can just add with adhesive right over our mint macaroon piece right here. Okay, so now I want to add foam to the back of this. You guys know that I've really been loving this foam for cards. This is a really simple card, you guys. Any of these sentiments would work. You could do Celebrate You would look great on there. They say it's your birthday. That would look great. Any of the sentiments would work perfectly on this card. And then also I wanted to mention my last tip for the day is you could do this as a Project Life card. You could cut this down to 3x4, put these flowers on the very bottom for a Project Life card, and then do journaling up top, and you would have a perfect Project Life card. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this card today. Make sure you head over to my website where you can see a photo of this and you can pin it to Pinterest. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you love cards on Monday, if they're a little bit of happiness in the start of the week. And then I will be back later this week, you guys, with more projects. I have a really fun project coming out tomorrow with the Occasions Project Life set that's in the Occasions catalog. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, sticking with me to the very end of this video. I have 2 other videos for you guys today. I have my Create and Share Club for February. That is the project that we're making right there. You can check that out. And then I have my Project Life overview that I did on Periscope. So the quality of that video is not perfect, but it's just what my Project Life is looking like right now. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, you guys.